Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video we're going to be building an autumnal cottage in The Sims 1. It's going to be a cottage suitable for Sims to celebrate autumn, to enjoy autumn. It's going to be cozy and relaxing, quite a chill place to live. Obviously, there are no seasons in The Sims 1, at least not in the vanilla game, but with a few autumnal touches, it's going to feel like a kind of suitable way to experience and enjoy the season. The lot we're building on is, I can't remember the name actually, it's the lot that the vanilla home is on by default, so I've bulldozed the vanilla home. It's quite a small lot. I wanted to raise up the terrain a little bit for where the house is going to be built, because I wanted to have some steps leading up to the house and steps leading down from the house at the back of the house. So it's just a little bit of elevation, it's not too steep or anything. Then the floor plan of the cottage, it's weird in a way because I wanted it to feel small and cozy and snug inside, but I didn't want it to be cramped. So the main living area is all in one with the kitchen and dining area, and there's like 2 tiles of space in between each area, so hopefully Sims are not going to have too much difficulty getting around. I did consider walling off the kitchen, living area and dining area into their separate rooms, but when I did that, I really got the feeling that it made the cottage a lot more cramped just by having the walls there, even without adding any extra objects. So I decided to keep it all open. That's what you kind of access when you walk straight in the front door. There's kind of a sideways hallway that leads to the right off to the main bedroom, and then to the left is just the living area with the kitchen and dining area. And then the bathroom is just behind the kitchen, and the bathroom is just next to the back door, which leads out into the backyard. Then there's a little patio on the right hand side when you go out the back door. And if you go down the steps, you get to a little stream and a bridge that you can cross. It's not really a bridge, it's just some floor tiles that I put over a gap in between the stream with some railing around it, so it kind of looks a little bit like a bridge. And then on the other side of the stream is what I'm kind of calling the outhouse. It's not really an outhouse, it's like a separate part of the property, but I had this idea that it maybe once upon a time belonged to a different building that was somewhere in the vicinity of this lot, not necessarily right exactly where the lot is. And maybe whatever used to be on this lot got bulldozed, or maybe it's part of a house or building on a nearby lot and it's almost like a piece of that building that's spilling over onto this lot. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, like how over time houses or buildings get demolished and there isn't always a new building placed neatly on top of it. I just had this idea that maybe the inhabitants of this cottage don't exactly know what this outhouse is doing on their property, but it is technically on their land for some reason or another, and so they've had the opportunity to convert it into something, whatever they want to convert it into. I thought it would maybe be a kind of garden shed where you'd keep tools, or maybe there'd be a workbench in there, or it could be a kind of, not conservatory, but a kind of living space separate from the main residence where you can just come and relax and kind of get away from whatever it is that you have on your mind. But I had this idea that maybe I could turn it into a bedroom, and seeing as it's got 2 floors, I thought it would be fun to have an upstairs bedroom, maybe a place for a guest who's visiting. There's no second bedroom in the main cottage, so whoever's living here, if they had a friend stay over, they'd have to sleep on the couch or something. So to have kind of another bedroom in some way or another, I feel like it's an asset for the owners of the cottage. But it's not really like a full bedroom because the outhouse is quite small, it's quite narrow. There's just enough space to fit a staircase in, and it's just a couple of tiles wide. So I kind of wondered if maybe this cottage belonged to an older couple. Maybe if they had a grandchild come and stay with them, it would be fun for their grandchild to go and stay in the outhouse because it's kind of like camping. almost like sleeping in the garden or something. It's kind of exciting. I mean, that might be a bit frightening if you were very young and by yourself, but otherwise it's just a spare room that could easily be repurposed into something else. It took me a bit of time to decide what kind of direction I wanted to go with the colors in the cottage, because I thought, well, if it's going to be autumnal, wouldn't it make sense to make everything orange? I recently built a house called the Chocolate Orange House, where I tried to use an orange and brown color scheme all the way through the house. And I didn't think of that as necessarily autumnal, but now looking back at it, I'm like, maybe that could work quite well for something that is supposed to be autumnal. But for some reason, I didn't want everything to be orange. So I started out with this kind of red theme for the living area, with like a red couch and a red rug and red dining chairs. The red looked a little bit too luxurious or something to me. I don't know why. It didn't feel quaint or cozy. It felt kind of royal or fancy. So I decided to go more for a green theme, and this included matching the living area also with the bedroom, at least the bed. I used the green quilted 4-poster bed. I think this would be the perfect house for a cat lover, so I put some cat objects like a litter box and a cat tree and a pet food bowl. There's only one pet bed, but there should be enough space to add more, so I think if you had multiple cats, it would still be large and roomy enough of a home for them to live in. So then the more obvious autumnal touches to the house are really the trees outside. I used lots of bright orange trees with their leaves falling down, and also some of the trees that have red leaves where the leaves are not quite falling off, but it looks like they're about to. And I placed lots of pumpkins all around the yard. Some of them are on the steps leading up to the cottage, and then some are just placed kind of around all sides, just on the lawn. I kind of like to think of them a bit like gargoyles on a church, just kind of watching over the house, keeping the evil spirits away. I mean, hopefully there are no evil spirits, but just in case, just to be on the safe side. I did place Bonehilda's closet in the outhouse underneath the stairs, but I don't think of Bonehilda as a sinister presence. I tend to think she's a treasured member of any family she belongs to. So there we have an autumnal cottage in The Sims 1. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.